Hello and thank you all for watching. This is Manny Sunny Sun for a astrological transit happening on October of 2012. Saturn is in Scorpio back again, and it will stay there for about a year. As we often speak about Saturn, it travels through every sign every 29 years. So, what does Saturn represent? Well, Saturn teaches us responsibility. It teaches us patience, detachment, determination, waiver, and domestic growth. This can also take a different shape depending on the sign it crosses. 2 years, the 5th of October 2012, exactly, Saturn in Scorpio retreats, is entered, and is therefore the lessons more specifically with the art of sharing in relationships. How to give power and the power upon others, and to grow together, find the strength to turn through the deep relationships. Initiation builds on these three pillars that I will suggest to you. To trust the management of a joint and shared responsibilities. The first pillar among the three will be: without trust and honesty, the lives of others or community plunges us into purgatory at best. At worst, it could feel like hell, seen in the global or political agenda, but also in the privacy of our own lives. Second uh, point is the second point would be that without a common project, the relationship chokes us and dies slowly. What have we created? The third pillar would be: what have we created together? Are we jointly and severely liable? As long as we do not understand this demand, we remain slaves of our own desire. Saturn will ensure to make our relationship drama painful. You can stomp, scream, I want this or this person or that thing. I want power. Saturn poses obstacles, imprisonment, you in the past. I will prevent you from enjoying the present moment. He is the master of time. It is unavoidable. Those born between October 1953 and January 1956 were confronted with it, and in the 80s, I hope they were able to meet the challenges, whether in their private or professional lives, or professional relations. And today, they are able to live in a responsible as partners and confident, knowing that the best of each serves the best for both, or all of it if there is a group, a nation, etc. Very concerned too for those born between October 1983 and November of 1985 are presented for the first time to face these lessons they chose at birth, to find the strength to turn in a division that takes into account these three pillars that I have just noted above. Just managing a point, a joint, and shared responsibilities. The Scorpions are also particularly concerned by the way they give the taste, the power that exceeds, and renounces their distrust of others, give up or shield, and bulletproof vest, willing to change with the other, to trust and to conduct a research that needs to be understood and shared. And the others do not feel exempt by the obligations that Saturn reminds you to fraternal, to fraternize, to love, to share, to live in resonance with the whole. How to build shared relationships that will allow us to update our best creative potential while um, causing the other to achieve the best of himself. While everyone is obliged in one way or another to meet his challenge in the relational areas of his lives. Otherwise, it will take lead in the wing. Saturn in Scorpio leaves December 23rd for a few months and will return back in mid-June in 2015, where it just entered June 14th, to see how we have handled these requests. I can assure you that this lunar month and the next, it will weigh its way. It is very important to know in which area of your chart you have Scorpio, as it will tour of Saturn. If you do not know, please ask me or message me, comment, like, or subscribe. Message me on my Facebook page. My email is mannyspiritoflight2012 at yahoo.com. A quick overview over this transit. uh, to help us understand what is currently happening with you and all around you in the house where Saturn between 2012 and 2014. The Sabian symbol for the first degree of Scorpio, when it first entered, it was a buzz crowded with tourists in the city. Being open to different collective issues broadened into the social horizon. Knowing the outcome of collective achievements and the new lifestyles that the proposal of Urujar on this symbol is quite broadening of consciousness. With this, crowded tourist today is far from the adventurers well wedged in a pullman, the Ray-Ban of the nose, smartphone or camera in the hand. Tourists safely follow the route decided by the tour operator. What is this personal desire, or what are they trying to find? To participate in the tragedy of Middle East or through Las Vegas, to discover the world of the mafia. The games does not lead to the same communion. Nothing to do to either with the desire for those with uh, with the fled of poverty or death. Throughout history, though, and even today, some men have had the desire to leave their native land to see the world as they say, either by simple curiosity or for to escape an uncomfortable situation, dangerous or under distress, to satisfy the desire to conquer an ambitious chef, is to go fight on the behalf of that belief, an ideal they just believe. The discovery is based on our desire, the desire that drives us, and our will that wants us to get this done. The four phases of Scorpio, um, in the lunation on this moon, the first quarter moon on October 23rd. The lunar months of Venus and Scorpio jointly announces a great intensity in terms of feelings, strong emotions, and powerful sexuality. This passion is not a common, and risk taking at an emotional level will probably be in order. Um, as in previous lunar months, the change is obvious. The mutation is internal, conscious, accepted, or otherwise, imposed by events. But it will. But it will. So let's take our destiny and start to explore that part that is imposed by events. That part of us that we do not want to see or hidden. What was most urgently forgotten? Action. The first quarter moon of October 31st to November 6th, Mars, which will fall upon Capricorn, makes us efficient, serious, responsible. As it approaches Pluto, he brings us to the strength, the courage to decide, to overcome the obstacles that nourish our dissatisfaction, to present the display of our emotions, if necessary, an exaggeration be enacted, to be banned. No lavish spending, no pop delicacies, for we do not forget that we can become sad, risk of injury, the best day to shape our decisions. Reaction during the full moon of the last quarter phase, um, November 6th to the 14th of November, the full moon is in Taurus Scorpio axis. Provide strong emotions, messages, emails, or phone calls are nuanced to banish. Attention to the way we communicate. The success of our relationship depends on it. Mars travels with Pluto, which will create a high energy concentration, mental or spiritual, physical, emotional, form of surgery, so intense and psychological tensions on a personal level as in a map of nations. Venus is with Saturn, the realism and prudence. This can help us redefine our values, to strengthen our whole life, or more generally, emotional life. Or cause us to break into the following week. If we do not remain prisoners of our own fears, we turn the crank up higher and give meaning to what is present today. Life brings me something. I got to meet and cross events in consciousness, the redirection of the last quarter new moon phase that happened on that specific year, November 14th to November 22nd. This is a time of joy or pain. Whatever happens, it's always an experience, an opportunity to realize that we are at the same major transformation. An arrow pierces me. And what is my responsibility, you may say? I try to live a race without complaining, down to the roots, which can be ease and a pain that can or terminate me. By entering Sagittarius, Venus will help us deal with the lame situation and turn to our real friends. Sun and Saturn encourage us to be patient, and our responsibilities to put our house in order, our hearts, or the other. Saturn through the houses in the astrological wheel. When if Saturn is transiting over your first house, accept to die a part of your identity and trust in yourself and in that process. It will be the concept of personal power and use. Realize that there was change in your way of being a partner. If Saturn is transiting your second house, regain confidence in your gifts. Realize that you are responsible for your body, your ancestral heritage, and what you gained. If Saturn is transiting your third house, do not try to take power to influence those around you. So just manage your close relationships, particularly with brothers, sisters. Include in knowledge and values within time and structure. In house number 4, if Saturn is transiting your fourth house, further contact with the true identity, establishing new foundations, and address issues of power in the family, especially the father or authority. Saturn in the 5th house, give up the need for recognition, or at least limit renouncing passion, jealousy, waive the requirement of strength that you love your partner or your children. The mutation may be related to love life, creativity, or death. If Saturn is transiting your 6th house, management, responsibility, authority, here in the forefront for the world and work. Saturn, the planet of effort, and requires reorganization, requests to do better every day. That deepens its way to serve others. The change can go through a disease or accept being cog in the great machine, and take responsibility as much as you can. If Saturn is transiting your 7th house, Saturn will often take a realistic look on your couple's relationship. That trust, management, responsibility is what will feel deeply responsible for what we have lived together. Do we have a common goal, a secret object? It will propose a significant participation of partners, a reevaluation of cash reports, sex, power, a crisis that will lead to separation and will highlight the frustrating aspects of the relationship for it to change. If Saturn is transiting your 8th house, Saturn will require you to Saturn will require you to be aware of the difficulty with sharing and abandoning the takeover, wanting everything for yourself or for your own personal power, safety, because we are afraid of the violence of the emotion. Saturn will put us and confront this reality and face it. If we do not have enough thought about ourselves and our difficulty to share, and especially that transforms us, Saturn transiting over this house can be a voyage to hell. Saturn transiting through the 9th house, this transit can live through a radical change in our beliefs, our philosophy of life. We can be aware of the great problems of life and of death, and even injustice. One may want to study astrology or tarot or occultism to better understand the underlying motives of being in general and those who live with us in particular. Expand our vision and understanding and personal travel within oneself. If Saturn is transiting your 10th house, Saturn will test and strengthen our social position. It is a time of harvest or restrictions and or mutation of a better professional level. The change may be in the abandonment of power exercised without a soul. If there is old grudges or old stories with the mother, Saturn will require repositioning and facing that power and trust the relationship. If Saturn is transiting your 11th house, Saturn it's about future-oriented hopes, dreams, and wishes, and will ask us to undertake projects that changes our destiny. Do you trust your friends? Is that what I'm asked of my way of exercising my own power? Would I now manage to success or a failure? How to develop a new collective vision of the dominated mentality? The death of of a materialistic or an individualistic vision of man in society. If Saturn is transiting your 12th house, it may be more than any other than our home. We are put in front of this challenging processing, and it may be that fate is required. Saturn can make a transformation event, perhaps painful, but very liberating, which will bring a significant change or the end of something. Thank you all for watching. This has been the Saturn. As we speak of Saturn, Saturn represents patience, boundaries, and to learn discipline and determination. And well, thank you all for watching. Hope you liked this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be posting more videos soon. Thank you for watching.